Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is 2 o'clock. It is Tuesday. It is time for Tilson Live, the first Tilson Live of 2025. That was on purpose, Dawn. You're welcome. We are all glad you're joining us here today. Jump in. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you are in. I'm Eric Alarid, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, joined as I am each and every single week, month, year in, year out. The great, the marvelous, magnificent Dawn Dantzler. How are you doing, Dawn?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Super. You know, just a nice, warm, toasty time of year.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happening outside. Everything's fine. Everybody's going to be fine.
Everything's perfect. Yeah.
Yep. No big deal. But yeah, we are jumping in first Tilson Live of 2025. So excited to be here off of a way too long break. So thank you to you and Peyton who gave me a little bit of time off. So I'm sure that the audience appreciated that. Glad to have time off from Eric, who's not. So we are back now, but it is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. We are coming at you live on Facebook, live on YouTube. So glad to be here. Jump into the chat, folks. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you. So whether you are just now thinking about building a home on your land, maybe Dawn, maybe people had family over for the holidays. It's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you realize that, you know, one of a couple of things, perhaps maybe you just don't have quite enough space in your home, or maybe you decide maybe you don't have quite enough space on your land, perhaps, and your lot that you are squeezed into in that subdivision is just not going to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
You have no problem having all that family over as long as you can throw them out on 6 to 10 acres. You will gladly let them and the children go do that. So in any event, we want to hear from you. Maybe you've already started the process. Maybe you're going along the way. And you've got questions about what's happening next. Jump in there. Maybe you've already done all this and you've got to sit back and relax and enjoy the holidays in your new Tilson home. Maybe we want to hear from you guys too. So tell us where you are watching from, where you are building, and what part of the process you are in. And while you guys are doing that, jumping and putting that into the chat, Donna's going to tell us what on earth we are talking about this fine Tuesday at 2 o'clock.
So this episode of Tilson Live is all about y'all. So this is the Ask Us Anything about building on your land. I mean, you can ask us other questions, but as we always say, the further you get away from building on your land in Texas, the less reliable our answers are. Unless you're in specific areas, you want to talk crochet patterns, I'm with you. We're good. You can ask Eric about his guitars, but you know, other topics we might not be as reliable. But anything you guys are curious about on building on your land, you know, what's a culvert, what's a construction drive, how do septic systems work? Eric is here this time, so he can absolutely answer all those questions for you. So yeah, just drop them in the chat, and we're happy to talk to you guys. We love talking to you and getting you a little bit more educated about the journey and kind of, you know, easing any resistant, you know, anything that's keeping you from doing this, you know, keeping you from coming and visit us, keeping you from building on your land, any concerns you have. We are here to answer any of those questions, give you our opinions on colors, whatever.
Yes, Dawn painted that lovely picture of Venn diagram of people who understand a little bit about guitars and people who understand a little bit about septic systems, and I'm here.
It's Eric,
I'm the one in there. But truly, any questions you guys have about anything related to building a home on your land, anything related to that, anything related to winterizing, you know, I made a joke about us being warm. It's not.
Yes.
It's cold, it's freezing. We're going to shut the state down. It's going to be awful and crazy on Thursday. Who knows? It's probably going to be fine, but still, there are some precautions that you and your family can take to protect your home, and maybe even ensure that you have water on Friday when things start, or Saturday, I guess, when things start to thaw out. So those of you who built on the coast,
and water where you want it to be.
Oh, correct. Yeah. You're all going to have water somewhere.
Yeah, there'll be water. We just want it to stay in the pipes.
Yes, our prayer is that it stays in the pipes or goes down the drain. That is the goal.
Yeah.
We go to great lengths to ensure that that's going to happen, and we can help you walk through. If you got any questions about that, if you have to go buy things, you take a helmet and a baseball bat, because it's going to be you're going to need to assert yourself.
You may still have some time for Amazon.
You might. Yeah, those of you who have Amazon, particularly if it's a drone delivery, you might be in shape. So you people around the greater, I know College Station is one of the pilot places they're testing that. So the greater College Station area,
really?
Yeah, you can get a little helo pad in your yard, and they'll drop you a gigantic Amazon octocopter from the distribution center there in South College Station. It's pretty. You can actually see them from the freeway. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out next
Yeah,
time
it's
I'm there.
interesting. Of all places to try it out, why not Bryan College Station? So, anyway,
College students, they'll tolerate anything.
air traffic around there. There's one little airport, little Easterwood, but I guess maybe
Yeah, right across the street from our design center.
that's right. I forgot about that airport. Yes, there is the Coulter Municipal Airport, the old Coulter World War II Air Base over there. But anyway, none of that. That's not what we're. Ask us anything related to your home building, site preparation, septic systems, culverts, water wells, construction drives, clearing, permits, warranty, design, customization, color selections.
Suggestions for talking my daughter into going to A&M.
That's right. That's right. We are celebrating that. Yep.
Yeah.
So we need to work on the kiddos, the next generation. They need to. Anyway, we'll see. So we've got some folks joining us. Folks, jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you, and then we are going to get into Ask Us Anything.
Which, if you don't, we'll just keep talking about random things like we have been.
Correct. Next, we're going to move on to mules and maybe some cattle and maybe fishing and different things like that.
Who knows?
Do those things. Yeah.
But first, we're going to say hey to Jason because he's been patiently waiting.
For sure.
He says, hey, guys, Happy New Year to our new family. He's patiently awaiting the foundation results. Big thank you to Eric for the message reply.
No problem. Yeah, we were down to a skeleton crew over the holidays. So, yeah, I was actually replying to some Facebook messages. That's where we were.
We were scraping the bottom of the barrel, folks.
That's me.
We have Lisa building on our land in Hico.
Yeah,
in Angleton County. Just getting started and had our first meeting with Sarah in Georgetown.
Oh, beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah.
She's great. She'll take good care of you.
Cool little town too on 281.
We got Keep It Cute saying I'm brand new to this. We haven't began yet and don't know where to begin. In San Antonio, Texas. Oh, well, then you are in the right spot. Great news. We have a design center right there in Bernie. So a great first step for you is to reach out to one of our new home consultants. You can see their phone number, or there's a form on the website that you can talk to them, and they would be happy to get you scheduled for an appointment to go in and meet with those good folks, and they can tell you everything. Give you a tour of the two models that we have there and walk you through the process.
Yeah.
Get you started. We've got Mark saying Happy New Year's. Haven't been on in a while. Hope all is good. Hope everything's good with you. You guys have been in for a couple of years now, right?
Sweet.
Getting company. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. We have Farron and Adrian say, hey, we missed you. Happy New Year. They're building in Arlington C in Waller County. We were supposed to have our pre-con today with Greg and Ashley, but it was rescheduled to Friday.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
little weather.
Bundle up.
Any idea when the Angleton models will have a grand reopening? We'd like to revisit our plan where it all started. You are just giving me the greatest transitions. It's actually on my little post-it as one of the things that I had to say. So actually, everybody can save the date. The grand opening celebration for the new models there in Angleton is going to be on Saturday, February 8th. And both Eric and I will be there to say hi to you guys. I think we're trying to finalize the schedule as far as the seminars go, because Farron and Adrian, you've been there, we have a little bit of a smaller parking lot in that location than we have in others. So I think we're actually going to do 2 separate construction seminars with lunch in between to try to make sure that we're, staggering when people are arriving to make sure that we have enough parking. We're probably going to have to do a shuttle situation, but Saturday, February 8th is when we'll be doing the grand opening on those models. And then we've got Scott saying hello from Anderson County. The sheetrock is staged and ready to go up.
Oh, very cool. Nice. About to really take shape.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got Denise saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Denise. We've got Jennifer also saying Happy New Year.
Oh,
Happy New Year, Jennifer.
Appreciate y'all.
John is asking, is there a general cost per square foot for all of your plans? And he's looking to build in Montgomery.
Great question, John. That's my hometown, by the way, birthplace of the Texas flag. I'll have you know. We claimed that sometime around the late 90s, and no one's disputed it. So it's
That's fair.
It's been there long enough. It's ours. But yeah, good Montgomery High School class of 98. Go Bears. So here we go. There's a reason, John, that we actually don't do a price per square foot. If you go to the website, however, you can actually see the base pricing for every single one of our plans, and the range you're going to see is actually done by the elevation. Big reason why we don't do a price per square foot is because 2 houses that are the same size, unless they are in fact identical, they will not cost the same per square foot. They should not cost the same per square foot. And we have an example we do on a different seminar, but to put it very basically, you're from Montgomery, so you're a sharp person. Take a 10 by 10 square, right? It's so 10 foot, just for illustration purposes, you wouldn't live in this unless you were in prison. But 10 by 10, it's 100 square feet, right? And it is 40 lineal feet of perimeter all the way around it. And then, Don does, of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can guess which page it was.
One of these slides.
I didn't realize that it was going to actually launch the full thing. Oh, there it is.
Nailed it. Very
there
good.
There you go.
Oh, guys, this is I don't deserve this. I really don't. Okay, so price per square foot. It is a very misleading pricing method. The reason being is because builders can base it on kind of anything they want to. They can base it on living area. They can base it on total slab area. They can base it on living area plus porch, but maybe minus garage. Like you never actually really know what they're basing the per square foot on. That's one reason it's misleading. The other thing is 2 homes should not cost the same per square foot unless they're 100% identical. And even then, they won't cost the same per square foot in 2 different areas. So, for example, 10 by 10 square, we got 40 lineal feet of perimeter and 100 square feet. The 50 by 2 foot rectangle down below it, same thing, 100 square feet, but 104 feet of perimeter of lineal footage around it. Which what that means is if we know nothing else, like I don't know ceiling heights, I don't know plumbing fixtures, light fixtures, cabinet, countertop, I don't know anything. What kind of exterior facade? Is it stone? Is it stucco? Is it hardy? Is it brick? I don't know the roof pitch. I don't know any of that, but I already know that the frame alone, I'm going to have 2.5 times more material and man hours and labor and probably waste on the second example as I will the first, the 10 by 10. Right. Because I got 104 versus 40. So now, all those things I listed before are going to make that even exponentially more different. And so I say all that to say, I would steer clear of asking based on price per square foot. I know we are trained to do that. I totally understand that. And I'm not disparaging the question because it is 100% how it's done. Asked all the time. Appraisers do it. The county appraisal district uses an arbitrary price per square foot for like covered porch and garage that they dream up. But the reality of the situation is it is a very misleading, a very dangerous way to shop. We highly recommend shopping using a upfront contract price. So in other words, you get to enumerate all of the things that you want in the house. Like I want this wall color. I want these light fixtures. I want these countertops. I want those cabinets. I want these plumbing fixtures. I want these cabinet pulls. I want these door hardware. I want these floor coverings. I want these ceiling heights. And it's enumerated on there. This is what you're paying for. This is what's included. And this is the total contract price. That is a far more safer way for a buyer to shop, because again, that price per square foot can be very, very, very misleading. The biggest of which is that a lot of times they'll do it by that total slab area.
Yeah,
Dawn,
that's
go ahead and show the 2 examples, the 2 plans, just for.
Okay.
Let me
make sure I can get it back.
This was just no big deal. Well, you did no big deal a while ago, so this is on you.
All right, so I think.
Okay, so
that's the first one. Yeah.
Yep. So this is a 2,000 square foot home, right? 2,091 square feet, I think. Obviously, it's got a lot going on, right? So we've got a bunch of porches. We got a garage at a beautiful house, by the way. Not one of our plans. This is a David Wiggins design. But a lot of 45s, a lot of angles, a lot of perimeter, a lot of different plate heights on the front. You can see the ceiling heights are going to be different. Tons of porch on the back. Beautiful, beautiful house. Now I go to the next slide. Also 2,078 square. So we're within 13 square feet of being the exact same size home. Again, this is an extreme situation. This is a Clayton home. This is a mobile home. But the reality is still that, hey, this is a rectangle. This is a box. This one is going, even if it was made out of the exact same materials, same stone, same stucco, on a slab, whatever, same floor covering, same light fixtures. If it was all the same, it probably wouldn't be. But let's say that it was. This is going to be significantly less because you have a lot less waste, a lot less man hours, a lot less material going into it, all that. So I would just caution you, John. I appreciate you asking the question because that is a very, very common question that we like to get out ahead of when people are beginning their journey. So thank you very much for asking that.
And that's also something like Eric was saying, if you are talking to builders who are giving you a cost per square foot, make sure they're specific about what square footage they're counting. Is it living area, which usually when a builder says that, they're talking about conditioned space? So where you have your AC and your heating systems, and or are they counting a garage in their square footage, because that's going to drop your price per square foot because you don't have conditioned space? And or are they talking total slab size? They could be talking about all concrete, which is going to take into account your porches and all of that, which again is going to lower your reported cost per square foot because there's nothing else there except concrete. So just kind of be careful if you're doing that.
Great advice.
All right, we've got Meredith and Kenny who are asking, how do we know what our site preparation and land clearing costs will be before plans and cost is provided?
That's a great question. So there's a couple of ways you can ascertain that. One thing that you won't be able to ascertain is the final engineered foundation compliance cost, if there will be an additional.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean there will be any additional, but that is one thing for sure that we won't be able to ascertain until the plans are provided, till the plans actually are signed by the customer, because we don't send them off to the engineer for design until we've done a geotechnical investigation on the site, so actual soil test, and send that information and the plans that you sign off to the engineer to design the foundation based on the results of that geotechnical investigation. But prior to that, we can get bids on land clearing, and probably a lot of that site preparation. So probably if there needs to be a culvert or a construction drive, we can get bids on those things, and you can have that. You can build allowances for them into the contract if you want to, for us to do those, or you can have them done yourself. So that can be found out, and that's so really the only thing that probably couldn't possibly be found out prior to would be the actual, if there is going to be an additional for an engineer for any kind of, if they want hard points or additional cabling or smaller pads, there's wider beams, deeper beams, more frequent beams, something like that. There's just absolutely no way to find that out until you have a geotechnical investigation. But that's what that $3,000 upfront deposit that's non-refundable is for. Is if something, heaven forbid, happened that just didn't want to do it, that goes towards the cost of those things. So it's very, very rare that ends up, not allowing a deal to go through. It's almost rarely a foundation deal, but it has happened before. Like, I can't say it ever happens. It has happened before, but it's very, very rare.
Okay. All right. We've got Michael saying, hey there, hoping to start the process soon and build in Natalia. Awesome.
Oh, beautiful. Nice.
We got Denise saying, do you have a source for someone to draw me engineered plans for the concrete on my barn or shop?
That's a great question, Denise. We actually don't. I don't have someone that can do that. This is going to sound like talking out both sides of my mouth. I personally did not engineer the foundation for my barn.
Okay.
There's some pretty standard designs you want to do. Because basically there's not really any interior walls to speak of. So you're not
right. Yeah. You don't have as much shifting around.
Yeah. You're distributing the load around the perimeter of that concrete foundation. I'll tell you what I personally did. I made sure that I had 12-inch by 12-inch footings where each of the red iron beams come down. So I've got, probably 4 of those on each side. It's a 60 by 40 building. So I've got 4 red iron beams on one side, 4 on the other side. And I have 12 by 12 footers underneath all of those. And then I think I did like a 12-inch deep beam going all the way around the exterior perimeter. And then I did a 5-inch thick slab instead of a 4-inch thick, because I didn't do any interior beams. But my opinion is that you don't need to have an engineer. And in most of those cases, the engineer is not going to stand behind the warranties. Don't work the same in Texas. So there's a law in Texas for single family residences.
Okay. Yeah.
The foundation and the frame, they, by law, by statute, they have to be covered for 10. There has to be a 10-year structural warranty. That's law. That is not the case on a metal building, and so no engineer is going to stand behind it anyway, because they don't have to. And so, and the reason is, it's not, to them, it's not worth the risk. So they'll do it where they have to, which is on a home. That's by law. If the HOA requires, I do know that some of these metal building companies, like the ones the one that did mine, they actually provided me the drawing of the foundation. She's saying that her HOA might require one.
Oh, okay.
And so first of all, if they do, they're ridiculous. But that's neither here nor there. We can't prevent people from asking stupid questions. HOA specifically. There are no stupid questions here.
They don't know any better. They're all civilians who volunteered.
They know better. This is dumb. So, but be that as it may, if they do ask for it, there are a lot of these metal building companies, they will draw like a detail of what the foundation is going to be. And the HOA person is going to look at it probably upside down because they don't know what they're looking at. And then and
if it's an HOA, did they say they wanted a site specific?
Unless Denise, you are part of the HOA, in which case I don't. None of that I just said is true.
Well, and they wouldn't know to ask for site specific, so they just kind of want something that an engineer says, like, yes, this is a good foundation. So yeah, I think ask your metal building company.
Yeah, and Denise, I think you're in the Brenham area. If I remember correctly, you're from Pearland Building in Washington County. So you might be able to find a drafter there in Brenham that would draw one, and potentially even the concrete company local may be able to put you towards somebody who can, because they see foundation designs all the time. And if that doesn't work, send us in the next week or so, send us a private message and we'll see if we can't track down somebody who can do something like that. But yeah, surely for outbuildings and metal shops, the HOA does not require foundation design. But if they do, draw them a stick figure.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can draw some rectangles on a piece of paper for them and
in crayons.
Foundation goes here, building goes here. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Keep it cute out of San Antonio says we are going to see you guys this weekend. There's an event at Henry Gonzalez Convention Center. We're vets and so excited but nervous to go through this process.
Super. Well, thank you, for your service. Thank you very much for that. And then also, we do a lot of veterans for building homes for them. I mean, especially in that area, obviously, because a lot of people retire to that greater San Antonio Hill Country area because of you got Randolph Brooks Air Force Base, you got the Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, you got great medical care out there, VA hospitals. So, yeah, they can take great care of you in Bernie. They're very familiar with all the different VA programs there are. All the homes that we build qualify for every VA program out there. So we do TexVet, we do VA, we have loans set up for those as well. And then Wagon Hill Home Loans can walk you through what that might be the best route for you, or conventional loan might be the best route for you too. So we'll walk you through all that, show you the different scenarios, kind of go like going to the eye doctor, 1, 2, A, B, which one's better? We can help you out with that. Yep. But we'd be glad for the opportunity to help you out.
Yep. And we're here to help you. No need to be completely nervous about it. We're here to help you and make it easier for you. So we've got Darren saying, hey guys, building in Henderson County, did foam yesterday. Question, why does electric panel have to go on outside when you don't build an attached garage?
Because mainly the restrictions from the electric code of what it can be in proximity to. That's a great question. So, they basically make it where it has to be in its own, almost where it has to be in its own combustible airspace. So you have to almost build its own closet for it, which means you're sacrificing somewhere. Historically they could go in the utility room, but now there's all these restrictions on how close it can be to a water source, other appliances, clearance from a door when the door is open. So that kind of, unless your utility room is like 15 by 15, it almost rules that out as a great spot to do it. That used to be the most popular place to do it. It can't be in a closet where there's going to be clothes. So you can't put it in like one of the spare bedroom closets. That's actually would be an optimal place, but can't go in there because it can't be within so many feet of where you would hang a clothes. So it really comes down there. I'm not going to say it's impossible for it to be done, but you end up sacrificing a significant amount of your living area to do it that most people just don't find it for the number of times you're going to have to access it. It's not that it's just not worth the space. The other thing is, in most cases, not all, but almost every co-op in Texas, I'm saying this because a lot of people have this, and maybe if you didn't have this fear, I'm sorry to put it in your head, but this fear of, I don't want somebody to be able to come up to my house and shut power off to it. And then most co-ops, and depending on how you read the electrical code, they require that you put an outside disconnect if your panel is on the inside, so that if the fire department had to enter, they could cut power to the building before they go inside. So there's really no way around that. A lot of people also I want to be able to, see when I go to it. Well, it's going to be dark. If you don't have power, It's going to be dark inside, just like it's dark outside. So don't worry about that. I will say, like on my first Tilson home that I built, electrical panel was on the. I had a garage, and I still had it located outside because back then we charged more to put it inside because why not? Anyway,
Even for you, okay.
oh yeah, my dad was having no. We weren't bargaining. There were no horse trading going on.
Your dad charging you double?
No, absolutely not. You're paying extra. I'm like, no, I'm not. So on the outside it went. And I think I went to that thing 3 times in the 6 years we lived there. So it's just not something that you have to go to very frequently. I wouldn't personally devote the interior space for it unless I was doing it in a garage.
Okay, makes sense. We got Kayla saying, just starting, had a meeting with Ross yesterday and I'm excited to start picking through plans.
Awesome. Thanks for going by there. You got to go see the Brazoria in.
You did.
Yeah.
We've got Mark. He's saying, yeah, they've been in there for about 3 years. All good here. We couldn't be more happy with our Whitney. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thanks for sharing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Jason says, I know I ask a lot of questions and I apologize. Jason, never apologize for asking us questions. Nope. That's why we're here. We would be bored without you. I think I have most of them answered, but what do you need to do if an appraisal came up a little short?
You got a couple of options, Jason. One is we actually can go back and first of all, we're going to do is reconcile, like make sure, hey, did they have the square footage right? Sometimes, they're humans, we're humans. Did we give them the right footage? Did they use the right footage? We'll actually take a look at the comps. We'll let Wagon Hill and even sometimes the sales consultant or sales manager take a look at the comps, the comparable sales that they used, and kind of ask them. Now, they don't have to change anything. Okay, it's a caveat. But some of them, not most of them, but some of them will have a reasonable conversation with you and be like, okay, yeah, I can do a little more there, or okay, I didn't have the garage footage correct, or oh yeah, clearly the living area was off by 300 or something like that. If that happens, they'll all go back and do that. But sometimes we can ask them, hey, can you get more value on this? So we can do a little bit of conversation there. That's one option. Another option, extreme option, would be we order another appraisal from someone else. That's pretty extreme. It's not a guarantee that anything's going to change. And then the third option is if the appraisal came up a little short, we would need to just look at how short, like, is it a significant amount where now we're going to be way, way, way short of that 10% that Tilson requires? Or is it like, okay, we're going to go from, 12% down to 9.5%. It's probably not going to be a huge deal for us. Now that's ultimately the customer's decision, but so it really just depends on how much we're talking about, Jason, and then we can work with you on that. So,
okay.
If it's significant, there are some cases where the customer has to put either a down payment or an equity deposit. So they put the money down, and we basically just hold that money. And as long as the home gets completely finished and you go to closing, we release those funds back to the customer. So that's happened on a very rare occasion.
All right. We got Denise. She's saying, Don, I vote yes for A&M. Gig 'em.
Obviously, I'm biased.
Then we've got Misty saying hello from Hood County.
Hey, Misty, welcome. I will say the San Jacinto XL just because.
Yes, San Jacinto XL. We saw it when you were gone. You missed it.
Oh, I saw it.
All right. Keep It Cute is asking, is it best to have an outside architect draft plans, or is it included in the custom home process?
Don, what do you do?
Actually, it's best not to go to an outside architect, quite honestly, because they are very good. I'm going to offend a lot of people, but they're very good at drawing theoretical what you should build and not practical what you can actually build. So we generally end up redrawing any architectural plans that are brought to us because they're not necessarily correct. And yes, it is included in your process with us. So it's best if you've seen a plan that you like, or you have an idea of what you want to do, to just go ahead and work with our team to design what you want. So we're going to pull out one of our plans that's the closest to what you're describing to us as what you want to look at, and go ahead and pull out the red pen and the white out and just start changing things up for you until we get to what you're looking for. And then our drafting team will take it from there and design that for you. And we just do it that way just because it's easiest for us to do pricing, because our consultants can actually price as they're redrawing everything. So before you walk out of the design center, you'll have a good idea of how much that house is actually going to cost you. But yeah, if you have not already gotten your architectural plans, I wouldn't go through that process, because you're just going to pay a lot of money for something that we're going to redraw anyway.
Yep. Well said.
Yeah. All right. John is saying that the square footage explanation helped him a lot. So
good.
Good. We got Monica. If you're in city limits and only one home is permitted, can you guys build as an add-on?
Let me sure I understand this correctly. If you're saying only one home is permitted, you guys build it. So Tilson itself does not do additions, no. So specifically us. In general, yes. You can add on to one single family residence. A lot of municipalities, a lot of cities, they will have rules about how much square footage of, like, there's a ratio of how much land you can have or how much house you can have. So I would definitely look into that with the city, because, just like our founding fathers intended, they wanted the government to dictate how you could use your property, of course. So that's certainly something that you need to run by them, since you pay them all those tax dollars. But yes, there is most cases. I can think of very, very few instances where you wouldn't be able to add on. You're not going to be able to add on a whole bunch, but you will be able to add on something. Maybe additional bedroom and bathroom or something like that. But do check with the city. You don't want to get out and start doing something and then have them only to find out that they don't allow it.
Yep. All
Anyway.
right. All right. We got Meredith and Kenny asking, how often do you build in Smith County? Do you just hire contractors in our county to complete the work?
Okay, great question. We actually do build all around Smith County, Van Zant County, even east of there, and north of there. Actually, I think we just sold another one in Paris, Texas, so way north of there.
Yeah.
And so we typically probably wouldn't just do a one-time contractor hire. That's going to be pretty rare. We would actually be more comfortable, and we have this set up. Our pricing is based by county, and we have Smith County, the Tyler, Lindale area, all that set up as a frequent county. And what we do is we negotiate travel with the contractors that we know, love, trust, and understand their work and can hold accountable. The biggest reason being, obviously we try new contractors out from time to time. We typically try to do that on model homes of ours, but sometimes we do try them out. We have to. You want to be competitive and know that we're competitive. And in most cases, though, we would rather send a trade that we know their quality of work, we know their time frames, we know what they do, they say they're going to do, and pay them a little bit of travel. Than we would have just hire somebody for a one and done. If we're hiring a contractor, it's typically when we're trying to onboard for repeat business. We really don't try to ever do, hey, let's hire this person a mercenary for a one-time deal and then let them go. Like, that's not good for either one of us. Which is quite frankly why it's also not good to try and build your own home, because and I'm not saying you are. Mr. Ms. Archie, but so that is a really, really good point. When someone's thinking about doing this themselves, you are truly a one-time deal for every single one of these contractors. You will be at the end of the line. You will get, the B team or C team crew, because they're going to send their A team crew to the person that's going to have another job.
Yeah, where there's opportunity for repeat business. Yeah,
they have to. It's cash flow. Every business, the lifeblood is cash flow. So you have to know you have something coming up after you get done with this project. So.
All right.
So we may have people from your county, but we may not. They may come from, Gainesville. They may not Gainesville, Greenville, or they may come from Grapeland, or they may come from Crockett. They may come from Palestine. They may come from a couple of different places. So. Okay.
All right. Denise was the one telling us she had an HOA. Kathy is saying she lives with her HOA president, so she can't wait to not have an HOA anymore. I'm sure Jason is a lovely, lovely HOA president.
I also live with my HOA president, but she's very, very lenient as long as we do whatever she wants to do on our little place.
That seems fair. Yeah. All right. Farron and Adrian saying, by the way, thanks for the advice on the well a few weeks back. Thanks to you, we found our main water was coming into the utility room, meaning filter, etc., would be in the way of the washer and dryer.
There you go. Okay.
So we got that moved just in time to the garage wall, so it'll be much more convenient this way. Awesome.
Very cool.
All right. And Darren says, thank you for the answer about the electrical panel. My wife thought of someone being able to turn it off.
I knew it. It's almost like I did this for a living for a while.
Let's see. Kathy and Denise are talking. I'll still live with him. You just won't have the title anymore. You will be like Eric. You will be the HOA of one home.
That's exactly right.
All right. We've got Will saying hi from Klondike. Happy New Year to y'all. Be safe and weather ready. Y'all have a blessed day and week. Oh, thank you, Will. Go get those animals prepped for the weather you guys are getting. Let's see. We got Monica. I have a small home not wanting to demolish, but only one home permitted on the lot. So she was the one asking about additions.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yep. All right. And Trying is asking, if you don't include wells and septic in the plan, will Tilson help us locate contractors to do these works?
We will do that, or we can include it in the pricing in almost every county we build in. We don't have it in every single county, but we do have it in a lot of the counties in which we build.
Yeah, it's just we don't include that in the base pricing that we show on our website because a lot of people want to handle things like that themselves. And it's going to be, septic, we can be pretty predictable with. Wells get a little bit more. We kind of have to figure out the price on that just because it's however many times they have to try to get water. It's just definitely an impact on that. But yeah, we can include that in your contract and take care of it for you. We've got Carrie saying, howdy, building in San Jacinto County. Forms are down, awaiting plumber and then foundation pour. I'm wondering why you guys don't treat for termites before pour. Is it because we are not in a development? Maybe not as effective since 100 feet over our woods full of termites.
All right. So, Carrie, you nailed it. You crushed it. You answered your own question. There's one more I would put in there, and that is the government has outlawed everything that works. So used to there were some products out there, one of which was called Chloridane. It had like a 30-year half-life. That was about the last effective termite soil treatment now they'll still sell you soil treatment. Believe me, people sell you anything. That has been outlawed for a while. You can still get it in Mexico, but it's been outlawed for a very, very, very long time. And it is not to be brought across here and used ever. It's not safe, and it is illegal. And we definitely don't have any. So that being said, my personal opinion is what you just pointed out. Because almost everything's been outlawed that has a long enough half-life to really help. And Dawn could explain more about half-life than I could. There's chemistry and things like that going on, but stuff doesn't last forever. That's what you need. That's the East Texas version. Stuff loses its potency over time.
Mm-hmm.
And so at this point, I think it's nothing but, dish soap and water, honestly, that they put down there, which doesn't have a lot of potency when it comes to killing critters. We do treat, as you probably know, the first 24 inches of any wall that has a plumbing penetration that comes up. So your island, sinks, showers, all that kind of stuff. And then completely around the interior of your exterior walls, that's treated 24 inches up as well by ABC Home and Commercial Services. Shout out to those Aggies out of College Station. So they are statewide. They're everywhere. And so we do have that, and they have a treatment deal on the window when that's done. You can sign up with them. My opinion is if you truly are concerned about termites, the only way to prevent them anymore is regular recurring treatment, like a quarterly treatment, because the half-life of things are so short. But you hit the nail on the head in that if I'm a termite and I'm going to climb up through, a compacted pad, squeeze my way through concrete and plastic up a side of a pipe that may or may not have a gap in it, chew my way through poisonous treated lumber. That's why it's treated, is to kill termites trying to go through it and prevent rot. We got to send some sacrificial, soldier termites up through that, and they're going to die. And then we are met with 2 feet of chemical that is treated. Or I can go 100 feet over here and have all the woods that I want.
Yeah. So actually, Carrie, it's kind of the opposite of the way I'm reading your comment, where you said it's not as effective because I'm so close to woods. It's not as necessary because you're so close to the woods. That forest that's 100 feet away from you is way more attractive to the termites than your house, where they're coming across all the obstacles that Eric is talking about. Your wood is hidden from the termites, so they're not as desperate to find it near you. They're kind of lazy creatures. So if you have a forest nearby, that's where they're going to hang out. So just do your normal prevention stuff, like he's talking. If you're concerned about it, you can have the treatments. Make sure you're not putting wooden mulch against your house, bringing it in, introducing it, those types of things. Have the bait stations that you can monitor that. Have somebody checking it out. But yeah, we're not going to put pretend poison on your soil. Tell you it's going to work when it's not. That's why we don't do it. All right. And I think Jason was asking us to look at his Facebook message. Did you see it, Eric?
I did not know.
Jason, do you want us to answer you on this, or do you want to answer us privately? You've just got some very specific financial information in here. So let me know, do you want us to answer this now, or do you want us to answer it later?
Jason, you'll need to know that I kind of shut off I'm very easily distracted. Lots of squirrels, lots of shiny objects. I shut off, regardless of what Carolyn Fowl may tell you, I do shut off almost all all things. She may be tattling on me, but
I opened it up because I've got all the screens because I just wanted to see what was going on. But it is specific financial information about your house. So if it were me, I would want to be answered privately. But if you want us to address it publicly, we can just let me know and I'll pop it in there. And Jason, who is also the president of the HOA for Kathy, says he's gonna fine her because her car is dirty. So I guess we need to wash it before the storm comes.
It'll be cold outside tonight, son. Be careful.
Yeah, it's very, very cold. Very cold. Okay. We got Denise asking, do you guys contact counties for permits if needed, or do I need to?
Denise, that's a great question because your county is one of the ones that was one of the last holdouts and may still be that I think Washington County, at least maybe up until recently, the septic permitting person wanted to sit down with the actual landowner and basically try and talk you out of doing an aerobic system. But I think that person has since retired. Maybe even gone on to their reward. I don't know. But they that was one of the last ones that there are a few still left that they want the actual landowner. Get with your consultant to be for sure. Walker County was one. Washington County was one. And there were a couple of others. But for the most part, we can get it all done. But either us or the septic designer / installer can get the permit pulled on your behalf. But there are still a few holdouts. Washington was one. They may not still be, but double check with your sales consultant, and we will double check for you too.
And if you need to be the one to file it, we'll still fill it out for you. You
we'll do all the
physically
stuff.
Takes it. All right.
It was truly like they made you sit down and they tried to tell you all about the horrible things that aerobics have. It was hilarious. It was
cool. Wow, that's fun.
Awesome.
We get Rose saying we did our walkthrough today and on track to close next week. We love how our custom Tampico D turned out, and everyone from Tilson that we dealt with been so pleasant to work with. Shout out to Shelly, Eli, and Alicia. They are great. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I think I got pictures. Alicia sent us pictures of you with her little boy.
Oh, very cool.
With your little boy. Yeah, that's so exciting.
Very
all right.
cool.
And Jason, yes, we will answer you privately after this. We'll type something up and we'll circle up with Mariah and get you the answer that you need. All right. We've got Yvonne saying, we just did our site evaluation, but we're 30 inches out of level. What are your suggestions to remedy? We're out in Wilson County. I'm leaning against having steps included.
Okay. 30 inches out of level. I mean, I'm with you on not wanting to have the steps because you never know what you're going to want to do. I'm all about, I may want to do a deck later. I may not want to, I don't know exactly how. We can do like some wooden temporary one. The reality is, Yvonne, the code does require some type of steps and rail if you're more than 30. Now, an alternative to that is being able to bring a little bit of dirt in and make it where it's not 30 inches anymore. We will only do that as long, and I'm explaining it this way, as long as the customer understands, like, hey, we're not trying to cut a corner here. We're doing this because this is what you want. You're wanting to plan some type of outdoor deck or living space later. We're not trying to shortchange you, cheap you out, or anything like that. We want you to, we just want to be transparent above board about it, right? Like, we're not kicking 3 inches of dirt up there and being like, oh, we're good. We're 27 now, so we're off the hook. Like, that's not the spirit of that. But truly, we have some customers that are like, no, I don't want to pay you to put steps in only for me to tear them out in 3 months because I'm going to put a deck in. So totally understandable. And we treat those kind of case by case. That's bringing in a little bit of dirt is the easiest way to remedy it. Well, that's not true. It's probably another way to remedy it. Now, this is not Wilson County style. This is DP's Texas style, but that's my home turf. I'm going to get me some mobile home steps from the local concrete yard and throwing them up against there and bada bing, bada boom, and order me a handrail on Amazon for $75 and we're off to the races. Now, that's what Eric would do. I'm not saying that would pass the Rachel Alarid HOA. I am saying Don can attest it's probably not going to pass.
No, I think we could. Jason, you're an HOA president. You can vote on that to. I'm thinking no.
If you're looking for a real quick and dirty solution, that is a legal solution. It's not attractive.
Yeah, because the other remedy is if there's a door, we have to actually like build something, a barricade across the door, so you can't use it.
With the concrete steps, you can later take those. You can put those in your pond, and they become structure for your fish.
There you go.
My little Nemos.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. We got it. Yeah. Hey, man. All right.
Always forward thinking.
There you go. All right, we've got Tessie sharing. Hello, it's been a while. Our house is coming along. We had some concerns, but we're quickly addressed. Oh, good.
Oh,
Glad
wonderful. Good.
yourself.
Thanks for letting us
Yeah.
know.
All right, that's the last question I see, guys.
Yeah,
Got
and
any
that's
other questions? Put them in.
oh,
Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Carrie saying, thank you for the explanation on termites. I've watched a lot of these and don't recall it being addressed. We've seen lots of termites in our woods, so hoping they stay away from our home. Yeah, your
They
home is
will.
not going to be as attractive. Like
No.
it's not as easy. It's not as easy. So
Yeah.
oh, Jason approved your approach. He's in
There
deep
we
East
go.
Texas, so
There we
good
go.
with steps and Amazon rails.
See?
There you go.
Nothing to it.
We just need something to pass safety inspection. Is the whole
Correct.
thing. So we
Yep.
don't have to build those ugly barricades across your doors and
Yeah.
be like,
And
you
we
can't
want it
go
to
out
be
the
safe.
door.
Like we want it
Yeah.
to actually function and be safe for you. But
Mhm.
again, we also understand, hey, this is not my long-term vision for this. I want a deck, or I want this. Now if it's going to be, several 3, 4, 5 years before you do that, probably a good idea to go ahead and let us do the steps and the handrail proper. But if it's not, hey, just you'll be all right.
Michaela enjoyed your My Little Nemos.
Yeah, my little Nemos. I take great pride in my little Nemos. I don't like fish. I mean, I don't like birds eating them. They make me. It irritates me when the cranes get. I'm not all about that circle of life. Those are my fish. Those are my fish. I take issue
Only
with
you
that.
can eat your fish.
Correct.
Okay.
I catch and release. I don't eat those fish. I catch and release. The birds do not catch and release. they have,
Generally, no.
no, they do not. All right, so folks, we can answer some more questions. If you got more questions, we've got them. We have some other announcements we can make too. But truly, ask us anything you want to know about building a home on your land anywhere in Texas. You got questions about site preparation. You got questions about what comes next. Maybe you're under construction. You're not sure. You got questions about winterization. We can talk about that a little bit if we wanted to. But it is upon us. It is cold. It is freezing in almost all of the state. So yeah, I mean, you should have the little foam thingies by now. I know our fabulous marketing team posted a video on the socials the last 24, 48 hours, something like that. Did that happen?
If it didn't happen yet, it's definitely. I think it did happen, but either that or it's scheduled. But yeah, there's definitely a blog post out there, and we can pop it into the chat too. That goes through how to keep your pipes from freezing. Biggest thing, if you still have you're like me and you screwed that hose in and you forgot to unscrew it, and then cover those outdoor spigots. Make sure everything's good. But yeah, we've got lots of tips on our website about winterization. If it's the first time that you are firing up that wood fireplace, we've got tips about that too. So lots of resources, whether you're in a Tilson home or a different home.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of the freeze misers. I know Pat Mayo at a Bernie put me onto those. The freeze miser, little cylindrical devices. You definitely get them on Amazon. You might get them at your local feed store, hardware store, if there aren't any left. But you screw them onto your hose bib. It sounds strange, but you actually turn the hose bib on. So be sure it's on there tight. It's hand tight. Don't use a wrench. Put it on there hand tight. The freeze miser. Then actually open the hose bib, and it only comes on. It's pressure activated, basically. It will only come on as water expands if it gets to be, I think, under 35 degrees. The water itself gets to be under 35 degrees.
Oh, cool!
And kind of drip just enough to keep water flowing and from freezing and all that kind of good stuff. So that's a cool little product.
That is cool.
Yeah,
I'm much lower tech. Mine have a little quilted blanket that they live with. It Velcros on. They're nice. They're nice and cozy.
I can say that Richard Webb gets tired of those flying around our design centers in July. They irritate him, and I understand they are not very attractive. So, fun fact for those of you who've been to the Waco location, there are no hose bibs on any of the houses in Waco at our model homes. Fun fact.
I never noticed that.
Yes, no, Richard wasn't. He put his foot down. There is very little to zero winterization that has to be done at Waco. So you're welcome, ladies. There's almost nothing you have to do there because Richard Webb got tired of it. The only hose bibs that there's one in the ground at the street, and there's one in the ground over by where the trailer was when we were there temporarily, where the portable restrooms were hooked up for the grand opening. There's one on the ground there. That's it. And if they're in the ground in Texas, they're not going to freeze. They're fine. But there are none. I know this because I was trying to hook up one of those Porta Swamp cooler fans and walked all around all three buildings at 6:30 in the morning, and there was no hose bibs. And I knew then what my man Richard had done.
That's hilarious. Do we have him in Angleton?
I don't know, but we don't worry about Angleton as much. It
Yeah,
doesn't
I
really,
know it's not as much,
yeah.
but
I don't know
well,
if you get it a
actually,
lot.
a little bit you need to worry more because they don't think about it.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know if you did or not.
That's
That could
awesome.
be
I
we
love
could do a little hide and seek game at the grand opening. Find the hostess.
That's awesome.
You learn something new every day, don't you?
You do. Jason shared, for anyone out there concerned about site prep, please do yourself a favor. Let Tilson do it for you. Trust me, you'll save yourselves a lot of headaches and you'll sleep better at night. They're pros and know exactly what you need. Oh, thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I know you kind of went through the ringer there with one of your
Yeah.
contractors, so appreciate you putting that out there.
Awesome.
Yeah, if it were
Let's
easy,
see.
everybody would be doing it. That's for sure.
hmm
And I would have hair. So neither of those things are true because it's not easy. Anyway,
All right. Fair enough.
all that.
We do have some fun stuff coming up next month. I mean, there's fun stuff happening all month. We're having seminars at all of our location. All of our locations are having a seminar. This month we have 4 going on this weekend. So we're doing our in-person seminars in Waxahachie, Bernie, San Marcos, and Waco this weekend. But then we also have a few special events coming up. So we talked about the Angleton grand opening of those models and how that's going to be Saturday, February 8th. And then we also have in our spring design center, we are building our brand new Brazoria E model. And they are actually going to be at the point where we can do the behind the sheetrock tour on that model. And that's going to be Saturday, February 1st. So that's a good opportunity to come out and see everything beyond the pretty. So when our models are finished, you're really looking at the pretty, you see the sheetrock, you see everything that's done. This is your opportunity to get a peek, behind those walls and actually take a look at the mechanicals, how we do our framing, what the foundation looks like, all of those types of things. So it's a great opportunity to come out and meet with our construction team and hear all about how we build our homes and see it in practice. So that's a good fun thing to come out to. So that's going to be February 1st.
Yep.
So lots of things happening. And then we've got our Cisco model going in Weatherford. We were supposed to pour the foundation at the end of this week, but Mother Nature was like, I'm going to make it too cold.
Yeah.
So TBD on when we get started up there. But we've got a new model happening there too.
Yeah. It's not going to be Friday.
It's not going to be Friday. That concrete's not going to cure.
Yeah, it's not going to be not optimal. I mean, there's all kinds of there are some chemicals and fly ash and things that we put in there, but we're not in that big of a hurry, so
it's best to wait.
We did it colder in Salado once upon a time, I can assure you, and there are some magic go-go juice that you can put in that concrete to make it do what you need it to do.
Yes, but then you have to run over other construction equipment because the concrete's going to solidify in the truck, and
we still have it.
Tilson Homes owns a John Deere Gator now.
We do. It's quite luxurious. 2010
True stories of Tilson history.
That's right. That's right. All right. So, folks, last call for questions. We are so grateful to be back. Tilson Live 2025 is going to be a great year. We've got sales are already happening. Folks, a lot of people are buying houses. Amazing. The last 2 weeks of December and the first week of January have been incredible for people going on contracts. So that's a good thing. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with prices, but we're pretty sure the pricing is going to change. That's going to happen. So stay tuned with that. We will have the latest and greatest information for you as we receive it when pricing things do happen. We've got that under wraps too. So let's see if not all the other announcements made. Yeah, that's it. So, and obviously the conversation doesn't end here at all. I know we have some new folks joining us today. The great news is there are over 200 of these long form video content out there on our website as well as on our YouTube channel. So you can access all of those there along with a ton of other content on our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of customer testimonials. You get to go see what other people have done with their homes and them showing it off. We've also got kind of the things that like the blog posts that Don was talking about. So like how to, what to do with your wood burning fireplace and how to winterize your hose bibs and things like that for occasions such as these. That content's out there. Our construction series, why we build the way we build, all that stuff is out there. We are arguably, if not the most, one of the most transparent home builders in the country. We put everything out there. We don't gate any of this content. You don't have to give us your email address or your phone number. We're not going to text you and bother you to attend one of these. We don't make you sign up for it like most of our competitors do. It's just out there. We want the best for you and your family, truly.
Yeah,
we want you to enjoy the process. It should be fun. It should be exciting. Not many people get to do it. So if you're going to get to do it, you got to be able to do it with some degree of leisure. We genuinely believe that. We have 12 design centers open 7 days a week, apart from maybe the end of this week.
Yeah, if you're planning to visit our north area over the weekend, kind of check in. Give us a call first. Make sure that it's safe to get there, and that we are able to open.
But otherwise, we have locations that are open 7 days a week, waiting to visit with you. We've got a website open 24/7. Tons of information on the website. Pricing is on the website. We got new home specialists on standby to answer your high level questions, set appointments for you. We got an Instagram page. Like I said, we got the Facebook page. Obviously, people are watching through that. Get a YouTube channel, which we said, and we just look forward to hearing from you. So,
yeah,
we have no more questions, Don. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, then we will be back at the regular here, rocking and rolling the next couple of weeks. So thank you for joining us today. We hope this was informative, and we genuinely soon hope to make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.